Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 9 of the Starfall Collective, where we play a little bit of live D&D next. Just a few friends from college and the progeny they have brought into the world. Ladies and gentlemen, my main man, take it away.
Hi, my name is Matthew Talamini. I play Thak the Thunderer, a half-orc bard, level 4. I'm a writer and web developer. You can find my writing on MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com.
Hi, I'm David. I play Tashash. He's a level 4 lizard ranger.
Great. I'm Sir Robert, and I also play Thak the Thunderer. Nope. Matt says I don't. Tonight I will be playing Harcourt Fenton Mudd. You may have seen this character ripped off on the old Star Trek. He is a level probably 4, I would say, entrepreneur. And
It's
you
a
can
new homebrew class.
And you can look stuff up about me, I would guess, on thefarce.net. That's Mela now.
Hi, I am Meliamne, which means like something oaken heel. I can't remember what Mela means. I'm level 6, and I'm a monk.
You've made a full psychotic break and you don't even know what your name is. This is rough. This is rough. All right.
He's become Mela.
I'm Thak the Thunderer, and I party.
Playing.
I'm Thak the Thunderer and I play Meliamne like a fiddle.
Thak kind of did.
Is Matt the only one who parties?
All right. Take it away, little man.
Dave and
I am Jacob Burbridge, and I will be playing Volas the Mentally Unstable. That is not his title, but whatever.
You're in good company.
What is he?
He is a gnome wizard.
And does he have an ascendant class? Another class?
Not that he knows of.
Okay.
Oh, not that he knows.
All right, let's
He
do
is
it.
unaware of his sleeper programming. Well, gentlemen, is there anything that happened last week that was remarkable, noteworthy, something that you would like to flash back to?
Yes.
I spent the whole time hiding in a bush.
It was an ignoble start to the combat for Tashash.
Be
Ignoble.
fair, you were
Yeah,
terrified
Next level
of
strats right there.
a giant something. Wasn't there like a god or something attacking you?
There's a picture of him up on the stream.
Oh,
What was it?
That's
What was
not what he's terrified of.
Yeah, what was it that caused him to gain the frightened condition?
I was this
Screaming
awful monstrosity.
maggot.
A little slug man type of deal.
Yeah, started screaming.
On an altar.
Couldn't deal
A
with
gross altar.
Altered beast.
Thak,
hey, that's a
Thak-
video game.
It
Thak
is.
had a great moment when he exploded 5 zombies with the power of rock and roll.
It was pretty awesome.
There is nothing about that statement that is not factual.
Harcourt created a fog cloud right around the altar, ran into it, and just started dismembering things that were in the fog. So,
You did. Was that a foolproof plan without consequence?
that is not anything Harcourt cares about.
So what happened to you?
I got hit a little bit by one of those lashing deals. Little black tongue-like tentacles that come out of a guy when you kill him. But other than that, I think he killed 3, 4, or 5 guys. And, got hurt some. But hey, if a lizard's not going to do it, a bugbear has to. So
Bear bug.
Bear. He really is a bear bug. Or maybe Volas is a bear bug.
With the exception of Tashash, you guys gave better than you got. And
Bear
somebody
sized
joined the fray. Somebody emerged from the depths of a lake next to the altar.
Watering taunts.
Yeah, some dude named Abraxas. Some dude named after a Hendrix album.
Abrexalor.
Titus
If you're not
Abraxas?
careful, you're going to start screwing me up, and it's going to be Chet all over again. Okay, we don't want another Chet.
Jab.
Chinny, Kinney, Winnie. It was a
Like
mess.
from the Wonder Years.
The blunder
Yep.
years.
Exactly. Yeah. Fred Savage joined you guys, and through the power of angst and self-effacing
Winnie.
honesty. What's that?
That's not who played Winnie.
Oh shoot!
Can
I
we
forgot.
play
her
D&D?
name. Yeah, we can play D&D. Matt's
I've been
the-
playing for 6 minutes.
All right. So
Played for 3 hours.
when last
I was done with this
we
red book the minute I
played,
saw it.
Tashash was about to finally do a thing.
I'm still in the clutches of fear.
I thought that you had finally shrugged off
Nope.
the yoke of terror.
Nope.
All right, well, with advantage because you've got protection from good and evil.
Yep.
Try to with 2 dice to roll me something that's 15 or better by the time you add your will save to it.
Oh, I will try, Josh. Let's see, what's my
How many rounds has this been? This will be
No,
like
the
round
actual
5.
stat for the save.
I
the
have
which wait,
It's
I
your
have
wisdom
plus
bonus.
6 HP.
oh,
which
wisdom
means
bonus.
in
Okay.
2
yeah,
rounds.
plus 1. Okay, here we go.
You said Will, and
Rolling.
Dave was looking for Will on his sheet.
Yep,
Messed
sorry.
up.
Sorry.
Oh, it's just a saving throw, right? Okay, never mind.
But you have advantage.
I'm not proficient. Yeah, I'm not proficient then. That's great. I got a 12.
12 total.
Yep.
Dude,
Which round is this?
that was round 5, I believe. I think that was the 5th time that he's failed to save. Yeah, and your saving throws are dexterity and charisma. I'm sorry. No, that's Stack the Thunder. I apologize. I clicked the wrong one.
My proficiencies are strength and dex.
Yeah, so they are.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep.
So that
I'm gonna continue hiding in this bush.
sounds
If
good.
that's cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
You,
it's a good
you
plan.
guys. What's that?
It's a good
He
plan.
said it's a big hat. It's funny.
That too.
It's bigger than usual.
So you guys see a arcane sphere of energy come emanating outwards very, very rapidly, and you feel a kind of subsonic rumble go through your bones as you see a Brexalor holding aloft with his arm extended fully upwards in the air, holding the head of one of these creatures. You see this sphere emanate outwards, and it seems to dispel this cloud of fog with it. And so suddenly, in an outward emanating sphere, you see the fog disappear, and you see the remaining 4 or 5 abominations that are kind of running around, flailing their weapons and roaring and making noises. You see them all burst and erupt open, and you see Harcourt, a body, fall down next to you. And when we get to you, that will affect you and something will happen. But you guys now see a Brexalor
Wait,
standing.
just a second.
Go ahead.
You were telling Harcourt that he saw a body fall down next to me, not me that I saw a body which was Harcourt.
Did I say Mela?
You just said you.
My
I was
apologies.
confused.
Harcourt, you
Harcourt saw
are in
that?
the
Okay, I got
thick
it.
of the fight right next to the altar, and you see a body go down next to you.
And he just basically killed like 4 guys.
He did,
Okay.
with this wave of arcane energy that you see your brain's kind of reverse engineer that it looks like the point from which it spread out was from that head that he was holding up. And as he does it, kind of the last thing that happens is you see that head just explode into viscera in his hand.
And Harcourt says,
"Go ahead."
Trying to tie up the score.
Thak, Thunderer, what do you do?
How far away am I from the altar?
I believe we said you were at this point like 30 or 60 feet. Let's say that you're 30 feet away at this point.
And I'm approaching from the west.
Yes,
Is that
you
right?
are. That's correct.
So Thak sees this Abrexalor, this armored devil-looking thing.
So, Robert, do you still have the image of that you can put up on the feed?
It is up.
Okay,
The head
great.
explodes, the fog dissipates, and
Yeah.
I see gore everywhere, right?
Yes, you do.
Viscera and gore just painting the dirt.
And the altar.
And there's like a sick, nasty monstrosity all up on the altar.
Yes.
Okay.
The top of the altar is about 5 feet up off the ground, and it is about 10 feet wide and 20 feet long. You see something that is a good solid 5 foot in diameter and maybe 20 feet long, end to end. It's 5 feet in the thickest part, and it's reared up, and you see that its head is open. There are multiple flaps that are open, and coming out of its mouth, you see all these long, red, barbed, tongue-like appendages that are flailing around, and you see that as the fog dissipates in this explosion, it whips its head immediately towards Abrexalor, opens up its mouth, and lets out another one of these bellowing, screeching, gut-wrenching roars.
So
What do you
I'm
do?
gonna Thak is not gonna do like a battle action on this turn because he's trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Him and Mela are just approaching from after having done their distraction tactic. So
Yes.
I'm not sure who's on what side in this battle. So I'm gonna.
The last thing that you did in your previous round, last session, was
Yeah,
you
I
sent a
messaged.
message, and
Yeah, but-
you.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to recap for the sake of everybody at the table and the audience. You said, "Hey man, what's your deal?" And what did you hear back?
Well, he said his name is Abrexalor and he's here for vengeance.
Right. Okay.
He did not say which of the assembled creatures he was here for vengeance against.
He did not.
And I haven't actually seen what he's doing yet because the fog cloud just dissipated. So I'm going to hang back. I'm going to stay. I'm even going to back up if it'll put me. Like I want to stay within 30 feet of like the monstrosity.
Okay.
So if I'm at 30 feet, I'm going to stay there.
But
I'm gonna message him again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, Abrexalor, you're fighting this monstrosity, right? You need any help, man?
You need any help, man?
The enemy of my enemy is welcome.
Is what you hear.
Okay, so that's my action. With my bonus action, I want to shout to my allies who are nearby, like for instance Mela, who also has just seen this thing for the first time. I want to be like, "Hey everybody, the devil thing is on our side. Don't fight the devil thing, fight the monster."
Okay. Mela, it is your turn. Do you respond to what
Yay.
Thak has shouted?
I respond. I say, okay, what am I trying to kill?
The monster.
So
I
there's an enormous 5 foot diameter, 20 foot long Hydra headed slug abomination on top of the altar that is currently facing and hissing at Abrexalor.
Okay. And does he look like he would disappreciate being struck about the sluggy head and shoulders with a shillelagh?
You can certainly hit that thing.
Okay, well, I'll do that. I guess I should get out my dice then.
You should.
Now's the time.
Dice available. I will roll 2 attacks because I get 2 attacks per action. 4 and 11 plus 8, so 12 and 19.
That hits.
Both of them?
The 12 does not hit. The 19 does.
Okay. So then I will roll a d8. 8 is the 2 pyramids. There we go. 4 plus 5, 9 damage.
Okay.
And then as the bonus action, I will do another attack. 1. Plus
1
8.
point of damage?
No. 1.
Wait.
1 plus 8 is my 2 hit.
Okay. So you go to swing at this thing with your shillelagh, and your shillelagh goes flying out of your hands. You've got some amount of...
That happens so often.
I know. The alternative
Like
is that
an
you whack
unlucky
somebody else about the
shillelagh.
head with it. So, but the
Okay.
shillelagh goes flying off into the mud of the lake bed about 50 feet away.
Well, awesome. You would think that I was a little bit better at fighting than I am.
Appearances can be deceiving. All right, Harcourt.
I know the feeling.
He's like, get back to me, man.
Oh,
Get back to me.
actually, the flurry of blows is an unarmed attack. If that helps.
Okay. In that case, when you go to kick, you slip and you fall prone.
Okay, but I still have my shillelagh.
You've still got your shillelagh.
Phew!
All right. Is that the end of
Prone's
your
not
turn?
great.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Prone's not fantastic. You got to stand up before you can do stuff.
All right, Harcourt, your turn.
You told me you were going to give me more information.
Yes. So one of these things has fallen next to you, and I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as another set of tentacles come flying out at you.
Oh, whoops, I dropped it. Sorry, hold on. 9.
9. Ouch. Okay. One of these tentacles slaps into your... Oh, boy. Let's see where it hits you. You're... Oh, man. Hang on. All right. Your other leg. And you scream in pain as 3 points of damage pierce through your other leg as these black crystals come protruding from your leg. And make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 7.
7. Wow. Your eyes go black, and you are now writhing and shaking on the floor. You guys see Harcourt lose consciousness and begin to flail wildly on the ground.
Okay. And so I have no actions or anything, or?
You can take this opportunity to try to shrug off the effects of this. You can make me another Constitution saving throw, or you can just really get into it and just do nothing and flail around for a round like a fish out of water.
Sure. He's Harcourt's not discouraged.
He's in his happy place.
That's right. I'll do a dex. What do you say? Con saving throw?
Constitution saving throw.
7 again.
7 again.
And then
All
with
right.
my bonus action, I'm just going to shout, my legs, my legs! It's the gout!
Count on
those are,
Hardcore
like,
to bring a little levity to a
Green
dire
crystals, not
situation.
Black crystals.
To Shosh.
The blackout.
Got my dice. Not better. I got a 9
Oh, are you kidding? With advantage.
with advantage.
Wow.
What's
Unbelievable.
5.
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna continue to hide in this bush.
How
what's
many
that other
rounds
guy
has it
doing?
been?
43?
6.
Sixth round?
Oh, hey,
What about-
Mela.
Volas.
Okay. What's that? Oh, my apologies. You know what? Yeah, well, Volas goes right after Tashash. He should have last round if he didn't. I apologize. Did Volas get to go last round?
I don't know. It was last week.
Yeah, last week was last round.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We started with Thak.
Well, we
Tashash
picked
went
back up with
first
Tashash.
tonight.
Tell you what, Volas, you get to go twice, my man. Congratulations. Double action.
Hopefully you do better than I did, and hopefully you do a lot better than Hardcore did.
Hardcore did pretty well. That was a good quip.
All right. First, I would like to reply to Hardcore's cry and
Okay.
say, "Are you sure it's not gangrene?" Gangrene.
If you would like to make me a medicine check, you could try to do something about what's going on with him.
Oh no, I don't run over there. I'm just saying, are you sure
okay.
it's not gangrene?
You just quit back. Okay, counter quit. Lovely.
It's like a parry, a repost.
Anyway,
Never do something functional when you could do something clever.
absolutely.
So what's your other action?
My other action.
Or whatever.
Isn't speaking free?
Oh yeah, maybe.
You can now see this abomination clearly.
Success. I would like to bask in its unholy glory, and I would like to let's see. I think mirror image for the first action would be very,
Okay.
very helpful. So I'm gonna cast that.
Excellent.
And that'll increase my survival odds by the smallest bit. And the second thing that I'm going to do is I am going to cast Dragon's Breath, which is a spell that I have, and it's going to be acid damage because the effect I'm going for is Volas is so upset by the beast.
Okay.
The aberration that he starts getting woozy, makes duplicates of himself, and eventually vomits explosively onto the beast, dealing
I love it.
3d6 acid damage.
Lovely. All right, and he's got to make a dexterity or constitution saving throw.
Dex
Dex.
for the Dragon's Breath.
Okay, this thing with surprising grace does in fact writhe and squirm most of its body out of the way, but I imagine it's going to take half damage.
I will see. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently it's concentration, and I can do it for each action for up to a minute. So
Okay.
that was just the first gout of extreme vomitousness. Anyway,
Okay.
yes, half as much damage on a successful save.
Each
Okay.
creature in the area must make a dex saving throw.
Oh,
So I think
No.
oh,
maybe Hardcore has to as well.
Yeah, what's the size of the area?
It's a
Yeah.
15-foot cone.
Now this thing is up in the air, and it's a good 5 feet up, and Harcourt is on the ground. So I'm going to say it's not a difficult thing at all for Volas to target only this large creature up in the air, away from everybody else.
Great.
I'm
alright.
also on the ground.
So I'm just vomiting explosively on it, and I deal 3d6 acid damage. Is there a second?
No, just roll it again.
10 and 11. I think that would be.
He takes half
Those
of 11.
D6s?
It was 551.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so he's going to take 5 damage. Excellent. Okay. Wonderful. This figure, Abrexalor, takes his sword and brings it down in an arc and quickly swings it twice at the figure, at the abomination, and you see him open up 2 large cuts in the side of this, in the belly of this beast. And it screams out and vomits this large black cloud of ichor at Abrexalor, who just takes it. You see this enormous black glob splash onto him, and you see as soon as that liquid hits him, all these crystal spikes come out of it, and he cries out in pain and anguish. Ouch. Oof, that's not good. Give me just 1 sec. Just gonna make a note here real quick. Okay. Thak, Thunderer. You see these 2 figures trading vomit and blades with each other. What do you do?
When I look at my colleague, Harcourt, as he lies there, do I feel like he has taken damage? Does he seem to be wounded?
Yeah, you can see
or
that
like
his...
just poisoned?
You can see that his legs are wounded, and you can see that he himself is under some sort of magical effect. If you'd like to make a medicine check or an arcana check, then you can do so. Or if you have some sort of spell that can do something about a condition, you can do that too.
What I do have, I will give him, which is not that, but I am going to give him a healing word.
Okay.
So that's going to be 1d4 plus 3. So he gets 6 hit points back.
Okay.
And
Harcourt,
also...
you have received 6 hit points.
Also, Mela, your last turn, you should give yourself...
I did.
Okay, great. And I think there are 7 rounds of that left.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
That's Thak's turn. He's staying back from all this still. He's just used a guitar spell.
Mela, it is your turn.
I will hop up,
Okay.
and then
Go ahead.
I would like to do a medicine check on what's his face, Harcourt, to stabilize him. I'm pretty sure that's all I can do with my medicine, though.
Well, let's see how good of a check you get.
Not that good. 11.
I don't
Make
think he
me-
needs stabilization.
Yeah, he's not dying. Make me a arcana check in addition to that medicine check.
Okay. 14.
Okay. Excellent.
Natural 14.
You can see pulsing up his legs away from the crystals, some sort of active energy getting pumped into his body. So you're pretty sure if you can clear some of these crystals off, you could hopefully reduce the amount of influence that these things have over him. So make me a sleight of hand check if you want to spend the rest of your action here over him to pull some of these out. Do you do it with your hands, or do you have a knife on you or anything?
I do not have a knife,
Okay.
but my hands are like knives.
All
What
right.
they do.
Make me a sleight of
melee
hand check.
damage, Not.
Make me a sleight of
Cutting
hand check to
damage.
see if you can pry any of these crystals out of his legs.
7.
7. No, you, in fact, you cut your own hand. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, potatoes. Here it comes. 17.
17. All right. You grab your wrist and cut off the blood flow, and you spit, suck and spit the poison. You see this little sliver of black ichor on your hand. Your mouth burns with a horrific, ashy, rotten taste, but you know that you have prevented this from actually infecting, getting into your bloodstream. Harcourt, you are in what feels like a pool, and you can see this black film above you, and you have a choice. You can either come plunging up through the black film, or you can try to swim around it to the side.
You're talking about this happening in my experience.
In your experience, no one else can see this physically happening to you, but you are in a place where you can look up and you feel like you're drowning, and you can see that there's this pool of this slick of black ichor on the surface of the water. You can either plunge up through it, or you can try to swim around to the side of it. You can see that it doesn't extend infinitely in either direction.
Okay, I can see an
edge to the pool. Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, make me a athletics check. Roll me a d20 and add your strength or your con. I'll let you pick.
Great. Brutal. A 4.
If only it had been a 1. If only.
If only.
Okay.
I've rolled a 2. That's the third time I've rolled a 2 tonight.
Well, Tashash, congratulations. Whatever sort of voodoo doll you made that was shaped like Harcourt, it's working.
That's right. So, I've got this brutal gout.
Yeah. Tashash, what do you do?
I'm gonna roll these dice again.
Get higher than a 12.
Hey, I got a 19.
That should do it.
All right.
What does it look like when Tashash finally gains his nerve all of a sudden?
Well, so he's been just kind of watching and what's going on. He's probably been focused on Abrexalor. Whoa, what, and at some point he looks out there, and he notices Harcourt, and then he sees Thack out there, and he's like, wait, what are they doing out there? What? No, don't go out there. They're going out there. And so realizing that he is the only one who had the good sense to run away from these terrible dangers, and no one else did, Tashash realizes that now he needs to go save all of his companions. So he picks himself up. The only to do, gotta save the brood, whatever, surrogate. So up he gets, and run toward the fight. So let's see what I want to do. I guess can I get within range of within javelin range of anything?
Yes. You're already at the edge of javelin range. If you move your move speed, you'll only be 30 feet away, and you'll be right up close.
Okay, great. Well, I guess there are still some uglies, not just the worm.
Nope, all of those.
Just the worm.
All of those were exploded when Abrexalor held up the head of one of these things and used it as an arcane focus for a emanating sphere spell.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I'm gonna do the. Yeah, so I'll run my 30 feet, and then I'm gonna cast. Let me just double check. 1d extra damage. Okay. sure that there's no advantage to using one of these over the other. I will. Yeah, so not really.
What thou doest, do quickly.
Right. So I'll use. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, I'm gonna use Slayer's Prey instead.
Okay.
On the targeting the worm.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna chuck a javelin at it.
Nice. Roll me a d20. Give me that attack.
Do that. Oops. That was. I didn't
Fake
see
roll.
that.
Fake roll. Not a real roll.
Yep. Sorry.
It's okay.
That's and javelin is dex or strength?
Dex. It's light.
Dex. Okay. Oh, that's right. Wait. Sorry.
It's okay. You
There
should
it
have.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit. Okay. Got a 15.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, and so I've got 2d6 plus 1. That's an 8.
Nice.
8 damage.
Okay. Wonderful. You see this javelin sticking out just below its neck, and as it's turning around, the javelin is whipping around with the motion of its head. Volas, what do? You've still got another acid reflux in the hopper, right?
Yes, I have quite a few more.
Excellent.
So I'm just I'm super duper because of the beast, and I managed to stifle down my vomit again, and then I explode out in vomit again. So that would be a DC 15 Dex savings throw,
Okay.
or it would take 6, 1, and 3. 10 acid damage.
Excellent. You see this thing, your cloud of bile and acid just fully lands square on the midsection of this thing, and you see steam and bubbling flesh, and it flails its head and gives another shuddering cry. Wonderful. Abrexalor is now covered in this ichor. Oh, no. And you see Abrexalor scream and begin grabbing at its chest plate, and you see these enormous clawed armor gloves reach up underneath his breastplate. You see him peel off a pauldron and peel off another pauldron, and he begins to rip away his breastplate, and underneath you see the figure of something that looks humanoid, but it's horribly, horribly burned, and in places it's burned so badly that it's just char and empty space, and you can see and hear this kind of sucking sound as it looks like all of the air is kind of rushing into this thing's body. Anytime there's any like dust or fleck or spittle or anything, it like a vacuum cleaner gets sucked into those holes and cracks in his body. And you see this enormous figure turn towards Mela, and its tail comes hurtling at Mela. Mela, what's your AC?
Oh, 17.
17. Well, this thing thumps you squarely in the chest, and you feel a couple of ribs break as you take 16 points of damage, and you go flying back 10 feet.
Okay.
And it turns towards who else is close to it and in
Harcourt.
fighting Harcourt. And anybody else within range?
Not me.
Okay, I think Harcourt, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. Okay.
Do it with advantage because Mela is with you and is helping you,
Yep.
and you can feel him. You can feel something on your legs, and you get this vague sense that maybe you're not swimming in a pool or whatever, that Mel is there with you, and there's something wrong about this reality. So you can do this with advantage. But make me a wisdom saving throw.
A not natural 20.
Wonderful. You feel this profound compulsion to rise up and to escape the claustrophobic, clawing, desperate feeling to get out of the water. And you look at that ichor above you, and you will yourself to stay where you are and be still, and not rise up through it. Thack, Thunderer, what is your action?
Thack is going to unship his guitar. He's had his guitar out the whole time, really, and he's gonna give Harcourt. Well, if Thack makes a lot of noise, can Harcourt hear me?
Worth a shot.
I would know that this only works on creatures that can hear me, and his eyes are closed and he's lying down.
No, his eyes are not closed. His eyes are open, and he's twitching and flailing about.
But
So
they're
he's
completely black.
his eyes are black, but he is moving, and you can see some amount of sign that he's in there somewhere. So he's not completely.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it. So this is.
Are you making a performance check, or are you casting a spell? What's going on here?
I'm using an ability called Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
This is a bonus action, so it's not my regular action.
Okay.
Like, hardcore, you are awesome, hardcore, get up, get up, get up! And for the next 10 minutes, anytime he wants, he can add a d6 to any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Once.
So
One time.
Harcourt, you have not one but two of your allies who have come to your aid and are helping you physically and mentally / arcanely to come out of this. If you want, you can make, with advantage and a d6, a wisdom saving throw to snap out of this.
Harcourt feels that it would be remiss to neglect this Mighty Ducks moment.
Quack.
And would like to do
Are
that.
we doing the flying V?
You said a wisdom saving throw?
Goldberg has ripped a nasty one, and the smell of it has brought you to your senses somewhat.
No.
Okay.
Dwight hates everything about this.
All right. My wisdom saving throw is, with all of that bonus and everything, 16.
That's enough. You see a place where the edge of the film is close to you, and you begin struggling and swimming, and you see this black stuff slide down from inside of his eyes, and you feel something sliding down your throat, down through your veins, down into your legs, and with your force of will, you reclaim your body, and you wake up to this utterly horrific agony in each of your legs. One of them, your right ankle and your left shin, are both sprouted with black jagged crystals. Your move speed is halved, so and know that you will be at disadvantage on any kind of acrobatics checks.
Okay.
So you are hobbled, so to speak.
All right, so
Not crippled or paralyzed.
For my action, I'm just going to hit it with Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
Nasty, worthless garbage monster, you're going to die. And,
My mother was nasty, worthless garbage. How dare you?
That's like a compliment to his.
That's right.
There we go. So it gets to make a DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Which it succeeds on, sadly.
So that does nothing. No effect
Man.
at all. Not half damage, nothing.
It kind of whips its head around at you and goes. Mela, you are 10 feet back and knocked on your butt. I think I forgot to mention
I'm
that.
not on my butt.
I forgot to mention that you're knocked prone. That knocks you 10
Now
feet
you're just
back and prone.
Adding
know, I'm-
that.
Okay, you know what? I didn't say it at the time, so we're gonna leave it out. You slide backwards, all anime style, all cool, still on your feet.
So I run
Monks
over
mouth.
and punch it a couple times.
Okay.
And slug eye. No, I grab his eye stalks, and bang his eyes together.
All right, so if you want to do
Knock, knock,
that,
knock.
you're gonna have to make a sleight of hand check to try to snatch
Okay,
one of those things out of the air.
Instead, I'm going to use my shillelagh to try to hit one of his eyes
Your
into his other eye.
Oh, that's right. You didn't use your shillelagh. That's right. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna attack him. Go for it.
Yeah. I'm going to try to hit the right into the left, and then from the other side, left into the right.
There's a lot more than two. There's a whole fray of them.
How many eyes does it have? What sort of slug is this?
These aren't eyes. These are tendril tongue-looking appendages that are coming out of the middle of its mouth.
Doesn't have any eyes?
Not that you can see.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna hit it normal without any sort of flavor text. Nice, natural 20 and a 10, so that's 28 and 18. For the
Those
spear
both
attack.
hit.
Okay.
And the
that's-
20 is a critical hit, so roll double the damage dice. Right, DM?
Is that right?
That's correct.
Nice. Okay, so the first one, so double the dice or
Yes.
double the, okay.
No, the number. Oh, go on.
Your damage dice lice and split into two.
Nice. So the first one is 7 plus 4 plus 5. That is 16.
Love it.
And that's the doubled. And then the undoubled is 5 plus 5, so 10. I will then spend a key point and do 2 more attacks. But these are just regular unarmed attacks. So I whack some part of it with my shillelagh twice, and then I'm going to kick it twice.
Okay.
Right in the tongue stalk.
Nice. Plant your shillelagh in the ground, leap up onto the head of it, and scissor kick it twice in the air.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 19 and 18 plus 8 each, so that's 27 and 26, according to my maths.
Yes, those both hit.
But neither are double, so just a regular old 8. Where'd my other 8 go? There we go. I was rolling at the same time. Oh, wait, no, this is 6. I almost rolled the wrong damage. Ooh. 2 plus 5 and 3 plus 5. 8 and 7.
Okay.
Monks.
Yikes. 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 Harcourt Fenton Mudd, you are conscious, laying on the ground in tremendous pain, have black crystals sprouting out of your right ankle and left shin. What do you do?
Does it look?
This thing is looking rough.
Okay.
Real rough.
I was going to ask about the crystals actually, but it's looking pretty bad. Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, Harcourt's going to. What happened?
I bet you could kill it, the crystals will just disappear.
Yeah, that's what Harcourt's hoping too. He looks at the crystals, looks up at the large horned beast that's being all crazy, and says, "Braxy, baby, we've all been there, right?" And he gets up and is going to try to get as stabby as he can with the Slugworth there.
Okay.
Let's see. I've got a... Sorry, I had to see... We'll cut this in post. I just have to look up a...
He said on the live stream. I love it.
Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like. Okay, that sounds fine. I'm gonna strike with short sword, and just I'm within striking distance, right?
You are.
Okay.
And this thing is being engaged in melee combat by an ally on the opposite side. So this would count as an attack that you could do a sneak attack
Okay.
damage with.
That's with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll hit. A 25. And
That'll hit.
that'll hit for. I was looking at the sneak attack. 1d6 plus 5, which is 11. Great. Plus 2d6 extra damage, which is 8 more, so 19. And then with bonus action, I'm going to attack also with dagger that I have in the other hand.
Okay.
Which does also 25 on the hit.
Okay.
And does 9 damage. So 28 damage.
You take this short sword and you don't just nick it or cut it. You stab. You see these kind of like wrinkles in its belly, and it looks like a segmented worm. And so you carve between those segments, and with the gracile touch of a master, I mean, you could have been a surgeon, such hands, you feel your way in and you kind of slip it between and you open this thing up wide, and you see this enormous black orb of roiling ichor that seems to be alive. And with a thrill of horror, you recognize the same kind of material that a small tendril of it slapped you before in the leg. Now you see an enormous pseudopod of this stuff coming out towards you. Make me a dexterity saving throw to leap out of the way.
Crud, man. 11.
11. You see this thing slam into you, and I'm going to roll to see exactly where it gets you right around the chest, and it just kind of slams into your chest, and you can feel it reaching around behind you. It hasn't completely enveloped you, but it's got enough of a grip on you that it's kind of, it's come around slightly on the backside, and you feel yourself lifting up off the ground, and you get your hands out and you're holding your hands on either side. Make me a posed grapple check.
Okay, tell me how to do that.
You're going to roll a d20 and add your strength.
Uh-oh. I'm going to roll a d20 and subtract my strength. Let's see.
I'm going to say you can use your dexterity to do this if you want, because you can squirm instead of trying to fight it with pure strength.
Great. No, that is good. 15.
Okay. You do, in fact, you don't manage to slip out of its grip, and you feel your head begin to get squelch pulled up inside the cavity of this thing. You guys see the head of this thing scream and flail, and you see those appendages that were whipping around. You see them all go limp and fall, and you see the back half of Harcourt, or the front half of Harcourt, begin to disappear inside the carcass of this thing. Tashash, what do? You see your ally being sucked into the body of this thing.
Yeah, that seems bad.
It's probably not as bad as it seems.
Pro tip, bro. It's really bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna run over there, and I'm guessing I probably can't just like pull him out.
You
Like,
can indeed. You can run up,
Oh.
grab him by the ankles, and begin pulling. If you would like to make an athletics check, you can make an athletics check to try to pull him out of there.
Well, my athletics is pretty good.
Grab me by the ankle spikes.
Yeah. Is there any obvious way to cut him free
At this point,
without
his-
chopping him?
At this point, he has disappeared down to the bottom of his rib cage inside.
Okay,
this
so
thing.
I don't really. It's not okay. Well, we're just gonna try and pull him out.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull him out. That's 15.
Okay. Nice. You pull him and you get him to the point where it is only his head that is still inside the body of this thing.
Inside the body.
Well, you see, like the segment that he had sliced open has kind of squelched back, closed around him. So it's closed around his head, so that his shoulders are not inside, but it is closed around his head.
Okay. So I've still got a bonus action, right?
You do.
Something.
Mm-hmm. And what you've pulled out, that foot or so stretch of him that you've pulled out, is covered in this black, roiling, liquidy substance that seems to be kind of shooting out in little globs. But mostly you see little globs running up inside the body.
This maggot is birthing me out, and I'm coming out breech.
Well, guess that makes me the midwife.
That's right. Catch it,
yeah.
catch it, baby.
All men are pregnant.
We went there.
All men
I'm
are
gonna-
pregnant, bro.
I don't want to cut Harcourt's head off or anything, but can I
You can do that with advantage. Not cut his head off.
jab my short sword in the cavity,
Like to pry it
Can
open?
do you have a bonus action that lets you make an attack?
double dual wielding?
I think dual wielding allows you to make an extra attack when you take the attack action.
Yeah, when one
Is
lands.
that right?
Yeah. So
Um,
unless you have a spell that allows you to fire off on a bonus action. If you realize
gosh.
that, I'm going to let Volas go. And if you realize that there's a bonus action that you could have taken,
I
I'll
could
let you-
bite it.
Do you want to do that?
No.
Okay.
Do it, do it, do it.
Volas,
All right.
you see most of Harcourt Fenton Mudd pulled back out of this thing. The lizard folk has him by the heels and is in a state of tug of war, and his head is still up inside the carcass. What do you do?
I guess the same thing, because I'm still utterly disgusted, and now even more so because Harcourt is being eatified by the monster.
And who are you shooting
Okay.
this at? The monster's dead, right?
Oh, it is?
Isn't it? It's limp at least.
So I'll tell you what I told everybody. You may have missed it. When Harcourt Fenton Mudd stabs into this thing down to the hilt and saws and severs his way down the body, you see the head of this thing go arching up into the air. You see it scream and shudder, and all of those tentacles that have been whipping around this whole time go completely limp, and the head falls down flat. So this figure, this giant slug maggot looking thing, is prone and still, but you can see movement. You can see this thing is leaning kind of towards the direction of Tashash, as Tashash is in a state of tug of war with this thing. The whole thing probably weighs, a ton. I mean, it is a massive, monstrous amount of flesh.
Also, I'm half in it, so you're unlikely to be able to hit it without hitting me.
Fair.
Well,
In that
no,
case,
your head's, I got
will
you
do
out
that.
to your neck.
That's
Now,
true. I'm not
exactly
half in
the
it.
kind of logic that prevents cool things from happening. So you don't have to listen to him.
It's true.
Then
In
again,
this case.
fair, but then
Not
again,
this
I
thing.
am a wizard, which are magical people. Anyway, I would like to attack. What's his feet with Thorn Whip, because if I hit, it will pull him 10 feet towards me.
The big slug guy?
No, you. It
He's
only
got a
does
thorn
1d6 damage, and if it hits,
Do it.
then
Yeah,
Don't
go.
pull him. Yeah.
Do it. Attack my crystal feet.
I love it.
16
might
plus
get,
5.
Josh.
That is 21. So that
That'll
is
hit.
great. So it just does 1d6 damage. Where are the d6s? Here they are.
Some of you may die, but
6
that's a
damage.
price I'm willing to pay. How much damage did you do to Harcourt?
Maximum 6.
Max damage.
Ow.
You hear a
And it pulls me 10 feet
It's
closer.
his feet. They
Well,
already have giant
Volas,
legs,
make
right?
me a grapple check, an opposed strength check, if you will.
That was actually a really clever move.
All
I
right.
thought so.
And I'm going to say that because Tashash is helping you, I'm going to say you and Tashash both simultaneously make this check.
So, what am I using? My
Wait, what?
strength, dexterity?
It's a spell,
Strength.
right?
Well,
What am I doing?
Thorn Whip grabs him by the feet, but because he's being held in place by something, I'm going to let Volas make a opposed strength check with
But
this thing.
is it his strength? Like he's physically pulling the
Yes.
whip? Okay.
Volas, you're going to make the check with your
Alright,
strength,
oh
and
gosh.
Tashash, you're going to make it with your strength.
Okay.
Both of you guys are making it at the same time.
Ooh, that'll work.
Woo! Well,
I got 13.
I
What?
got that, just no 10.
You got a natural 3.
A natural 3.
Wow.
Natty 3.
Diggity dog. You see Volas's little heels just digging into the dirt, and you see and you and the thorn whip snaps, and Harcourt is still wedged soundly inside the carapace of this thing, the carcass. Sorry. You see this figure who has peeled off his chest piece, and you see him reach down underneath his jaw, and he peels it off, and you see a sight that
Jaw off.
the jaw of the face mask. You see him
Oh.
reach up underneath these spikes, these horns that seem to be mounted in the base of the chin of this face piece. And he peels it up, and you see a face that has no eyes, no nose, no mouth. Just the whole center of its face comes down into this puckered, seared, cracked, fissured black void. And it's not even dark, like super dark. It's void.
It's just
And you can
Slenderman.
see
Some
and
might actually
hear
call that a
this.
face.
Just this constant, perpetual sucking sound as the air comes rushing inside his face. And
We've
you
all
see
walked
it.
into the Olive Garden on Spaghetti
What's that?
Tuesday.
What?
Like we've all walked into an Olive Garden on Spaghetti Tuesday.
The collective, perpetual sound of 1,000 mouths slurping noodles at once. As
Sorry, go
though
ahead.
All the pasta in the world ran out and the slurping stopped. Anyway, you see him take that sword and plunge it into. He kind of flips it over, and well, I say he. It doesn't really appear to have a gender or anything. It appears to be just this humanoid figure. There's no discernible feature about it that could tell you anything, whether it's even human. It could have been an elf or a human or whatever, but it appears to be about 6'4". It takes its sword, flips it over so that it's holding the hilt up, blade down, and it plunges it into the body, and you see it begin to saw, and you see it plunge apart, peel apart the other side of the carcass, and you see it take its hand that already is covered in all these crystals and everything, and you see it reach in, and as it does so, you see it throw its head back, and for a second, all that sucking sound stops, and you hear a ear-piercing, gut-wrenching scream And Matt, you hear a message in your head clearly.
Curse him out.
What was that?
Get him out.
Harcourt, you are going to need the world's most prolonged series of chiropractic interventions after this, because right now your neck feels like it is about to be wrenched loose. Your head feels like it's about to get ripped off. You two, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to say that there was not enough differential of force, Volas, for that thorn whip to have broken. So I'm going to say you've still got Harcourt around the ankles by this thorn whip. I need you and Tashash to make me a strength saving throw. Well, not strength saving. Yes, strength saving throw. Make it as a saving throw. As you feel, Tashash, your grip on his heels is more immediate. You feel this lunging, jerking motion as his body is being pulled upwards into the carcass of the great abomination.
All right. So 13.
17.
Nice.
Can we
Tashash,
combine
you
ours
feel-
to get 30?
What's that, Volas? Say that again?
Can we combine ours to get 30?
That's right.
I
You
like
know,
this idea.
if only. But then what you would have is a series of peasants holding a rope, and at the end of it, there would be a Tarrasque being dragged inexorably forward by these 1,000 peasants. Shoot, a dozen. So,
Are you being
Tashash,
argumentative?
one of his ankles slips out of your hand, and you lose your grip. But Volas, you have been digging yourself a nice little trench into the dirt, and you are now almost parallel to the ground backwards. And you know, you've got your shoulder blades on the ground, your heels are dug in, and you're just for all your worth holding on to this thorn whip, and that is the only thing keeping Harcourt from being sucked into the body of this thing. You see Abrexalor cry out in pain, and you see Thack. Yeah, you can see on the other side of this body even because he's pretty tall, and this thing is flattened out in death a little bit. And so just over the top of this, you can see Abrexalor and Tashash standing. You can't see this because you're on the other side, but you see those black crystals go running up the arm of Abrexalor, and you see them sprouting out up underneath its chin and down throughout its chest. And you see him cry out. Hang on one sec. That's not great. Okay, all right.
Is Brexlor about to die?
You see these crystals sprout out from him. Some of them are a full foot long, and you can see that they keep going down into his body cavity. So you've got the idea that this guy has basically just experienced the equivalent of being stabbed by like 4 or 5 daggers at once. Thack, Thunderer, what do you do?
Thunder away!
I can see that Tashash and Volas seem to have Harcourt pretty much under control.
What gave you that idea?
You know what? Roll me an intelligence check.
He's already failed it in real life.
Are we talking about perception or insight?
Insight.
Oh, no wait. Those are both wisdom.
Wisdom.
Hold on.
You know what? Yeah. No, this is just a raw intelligence check.
Okay, I got you. That's going to be a 14.
You feel a tickling in the back of your brain. for an idea,
Maybe you're wrong.
but you don't know what it is. Or at least
Um,
if it come to you this second, you have, you know, the opportunity to think of a good idea. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have made you roll an Arcana check with that. Also, roll me an Arcana check. My apologies.
Here comes an Arcana check. It's a little bit better than straight intelligence. Nah, that's going to be a 6.
6. Okay. All right.
I don't have whatever this idea is. I don't get it.
You can think of anything you want to think of. I was going to say something to you if whatever, but don't worry about it. Pretend like it didn't happen.
No, Thak doesn't get it. Thak is a low intelligence bard.
That's fine.
he's gonna who looks hurt worse, Harcourt or Abraxalor?
You tell me, Harcourt. I don't know how many hit points you have.
Harcourt looks like he's
Harcourt-
wearing a giant slug creature as a hat or helmet.
Harcourt
No,
is not a purely evil being.
yeah. Harcourt's okay.
You know what? Thak feels a lot of affinity for this devil creature that has come up out of hell to defeat monsters. That's really metal. So,
Who made that history? Well, okay, never mind. Yeah, Volas made it. Go ahead.
And Thak is gonna give a healing word to Abraxalor. That's gonna be he gets his guitar and he plays a nice little song about how nice it is in hell and how
You froze up, Matt.
Still frozen.
Let me try slapping him.
Don't you give up on me! You never gave up on anything.
Sorry.
Hey, it worked.
There you
I
are.
think I'm back.
You felt some sort of affinity for this
Yeah, so
Rexford character.
Yeah, I feel some affinity for him because armored devils coming up out of hell to kill monsters is completely metal, and Thak is super into it, and he's probably going to compose a real heavy song about this later on. So he's going to play the first opening riffs of that song.
Nice.
Think of Metallica, Enter the Sandman. And
Why do demons
gonna
suddenly
be,
appear?
3 plus 3 is going to be 6 hit points. Abraxalor gets 6 hit points of healing. It seems mostly that's just a token of esteem, I guess. But
All right.
Thak is
see-
also going to go a little bit closer. He's going to go up to about to where he's going to walk up to about where Tashash is. Close to
Okay.
Tashash.
Okay. You see over the top of this carcass, you see a Brexilor's head, which has been just kind of like quivering and in pain. It kind of turns and its face is fully towards you as far as you can tell, and you see it go. Or he gives you a curt nod.
Can you describe what's happening?
He gives a curt nod to
Okay, thanks.
Thak. Mela, what do you do?
Ooh, what do I do?
Do that voodoo that you do so well.
Is this